Hello, everyone. My name is Chrism, and um, I'd like to answer any questions that you might have regarding your Kundalini awakening experience. And this will probably be a video that gets deleted unless people have questions. So ask a question. I don't do this very often, so ask a question. I'm going to be looking at, the people here. I see Kelly and Buchev and Tommy and Andrea and David. Hello, David. Everybody's watching, and if you have a question, please write it down, and I will do my best to give an answer to it. So, in the meantime, I'm going to talk about some more Kundalini subject matter. Um, some of you, as you enter into the dark night of the soul, you'll question who you are, how you are, what you are, and why you are. And what I want you to understand during the dark night of the soul is that everything is being thrown out of your system. Everything. The cup is being emptied till there is nothing left in the cup. And the best thing that you can do is to let that occur. Don't hold on to the way you are. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to lose my identity. Let your identity go. Okay, you're not going to get away from this. You can take all the drugs in the world, but you're not going to get away from it. Divinity is endlessly patient. Sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes you just say, okay, enough. Enough, you're going to change. And yes, just like we talk to the baby that's teething, honey, I know it hurts, but this is going to have to happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to have to happen. You'll have to stop using your drugs. You'll have to stop using your recreational chemicals. You'll have to, you'll even be ripped out of your relationship or your employment situation, your family situation. Your friendships will all change. You'll need to walk alone in the desert, like Jesus did for you Christians. Okay, you're going to have to walk alone with divine grace for a time. And you'll have to develop this level of trust that isn't the same as, I trust that mom's going to pick me up from high school when the time is right. It's not like that. It's not like, well, I trust that the bus is going to be running on time. It's not like that either. It's an inner trust that doesn't have a lot of modern civilization timings that resonate with it. Doesn't have that. It's a trust that is always around you and in you, and yet it's a flexible flowing. It's kind of like a river flowing around a rock, and you're the rock, and that level of trust is flowing around you and molding you the way a current will mold a rock. Okay. And so, guess what? We have a question here. So, here we go. This is from David Sulabarizde. Love that name. Anyway, David. David asks, hello, Master Chrism. Does the Kundalini drive a person towards more mundane activities than spiritual? I am going through it, and I think it is confusing. Mundane activities. Can you give me an example of what mundane activities would be? Sometimes she'll have you do your job in a way that is very, very precise. In other words, if you're using a screwdriver, you'll put the head of the screwdriver into the screw very, very accurately, and you'll turn it with extreme accuracy. It's almost like the mundane tasks become art in the making. So putting that screw in with the screwdriver is like a dance that you're having with the with the screwdriver and the screw and the connection and the reason and the force that you're putting into it. You know, anybody else looking at you going, wow, he's really getting into screwing that screw in there. Nothing wrong with that, you know, getting into your work. Or you know, the way you hook up I know that you're an IT guy, David, and so, you know, the way you hook up a computer network, or how you do your job, in what sequence you do your job, things of that nature. Uh, you get very, very intensely into the mundane aspect of it. Kelly for Gail says for Jal or for I, you know, forgive me for hurting your name there, the pronunciation. You know, she says, yeah, love that. LOL, love that. I can no longer multitask. And sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. Sometimes she just wants you to really, really, really focus on doing that job in the best way possible. And that causes you to have extreme focus on one task. And then Andrea is asking, can you see living things on trees with Kundalini? Absolutely. Birds. You can see birds, moss. You can see a squirrel, chipmunks. You can see, you know, a lot of different living. If you live in the tropics, you can see monkeys there. You can see spiders there. You can see a lot of different living things on trees, with or without the Kundalini. With or without the Kundalini. Um, Thank you, Kelly. Kelly says they're all right. And Donnie Romano says, I already have a job, but it is guiding me to apply for new jobs. And so you start looking for new jobs, my friend. She's letting you work there for a little while. For a little while. But pretty soon that may not be the case. Okay? That may not be the case. So you start looking for, and she will give you the feeling, the sensation, when you find the right job that she wants you to have. She being sacred feminine, sacred mother, Shakti, of Kundalini. And so, yeah, pay attention, my friend. David says, I never have been engaged in learning anything mundane with this interest, or I'm going to maybe add into that, David, with this level of interest. Yeah, it's a severe level of focus. It's a very positive attribute. This is what gives a person the ability to do tritaka, the visual meditation, like say with a candle or with a Sri Yantra. And it really gives the person the ability to focus, and focus severely. Almost focus hard. I don't like to use the word hard because it's not difficult. It becomes very easy to focus on that one task, as Kelly Frigale said, you know, she's not multitasking. But sometimes when you're multitasking, you can multitask with a level of flow that has a severe focus to it as well. I used to do this when I was a singing Mongolian barbecue chef in Santa Barbara, California. And in that in that job, you know, people would bring their food up to you, and you know, they'd have 5 different meats and lots of vegetables and sauces, and you had this big long wand, and you had to cook everything separately. So you're multitasking there because you want to cook the veggies as long as you cook the meat, you know, things of that nature. You want sauce on something and not on the other thing, and then when you've got it all cooked, you had to flip it off of the brazier and catch it on the plate here. So the food is actually airborne, and you catch it on the plate and deliver it to the person. All the while, you're singing Broadway tunes. Only in California, huh? Anyway, so I found I could do that very, very well. I could, you know, that level of focus was very, very strong. And David says, I've never been engaged in learning anything mundane with this interest. Well, go with it, David. Go with it. Go with that flow. That sounds like a very, very Kundalini-induced project for you. And Andrea, who was looking for living things in a tree, And she says, no living trees. No living trees. Andrea, let me go back here and see what you said. Can you see living things on trees with Kundalini? And then you're saying no living trees. So I'm not quite sure what you're asking here. Can you rephrase it, please? Kathy Schultz Forberger says, the specific nature of doing the mundane has allowed me to clean my house very well. I need to get out of the house. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it can really permeate your life. You learn how to do things with an incredible level of detail and interest that is stunning. If you've never had it happen to you before, I mean, just putting your shoes on and tying your shoes, or doing some sort of multitasking or some sort of electronic work that requires you to look through a microscope or something of that nature, it can be very, very, very infusing of energy. It's a good thing. It's a good practice. It's a good exercise. Try looking at a Sri Yantra, and I don't have my wallet on me, so I can't show you the Sri Yantra that I use. But try looking at a Sri Yantra with that level of focus. Sri Yantra is the visual Tibetan mandala. Try looking at one of those, and so like in other dimensions. So I think if I get you right, Andrea, you're looking at trees in another dimension with living things on it. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this is not the only dimension that has living creatures in it. I have been in other places, in other dimensions that have living things on it. And, you know, the closer you are to this dimension, you know, the more of a reflection you'll have in visiting other dimensions. And so you'll have the predator-prey type of scenario, or you'll just, you'll have creatures that are living strictly on energy. But there are lots of creation in this dimension and other dimensions. And yes, the Kundalini can give you the ability to see those things. Absolutely. And I don't know what that's about. And let's see. You're welcome, David, and LOL to you, Kelly. And Gwen Johnson, love your happiness, love yours too. David says, level is spending almost whole days in learning programming. Oh, great. Yeah, learn the latest thing. Definitely. And Kelly says, recently, I've had interdimensional experiences, meeting different beings. You definitely can't trust them, Kelly. She says, I'm not sure I can trust them. All I know, sure how to know, definitely can't trust them, all not sure how to know, and not sure if it's fear making me think this is or it's a valid concern. Do not trust them. Return kindness for kindness, but don't depend on them for any kind of accuracy in information or intention. Okay? You can return kindness for kindness, or you can just observe without initiating any kind of an emotional attachment or energetic attachment. Okay, so follow those instructions. You know, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it in such a commanding way, but definitely follow those instructions. You'll find things much better for you. And Andrea Beach is asking the question: the aura and the life force of a tree. Yes. You can see that. You can view that. A great way that the movies allow that idea to come forward is in the movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, and she's taken that drug that is produced in the human breast milk, and it's been condensed, to a very powerful point. And she's been actually forced to take that. She didn't take it voluntarily, but she can start seeing the energy running through trees. She can see the aura around a tree. You can see these with the Kundalini. You don't have to take a drug. Okay. So yeah, and not just around trees, around all creation, including rocks. Including the types of creation that we would not necessarily apply sentience to. Those two. And the sky, yeah, but the sky is another environment where there is creation. The sky is loaded with creation that science hasn't discovered yet. Okay, and you're very welcome. Uh-oh, what happened here? Anybody want a tangerine? Oh no, how do I get out of this? Oh, maybe I'll try this. Hello, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, thank you, Kelly. And hello, Gabriel and Emma Louise. Hello, hello. So, yeah, once again, this is a question and answer video with Mr. C in the background here. And, yeah, these are some good questions. Good questions. Let's see if there's any more. Kundalini definitely will show you alternate realities and other dimensions. And hello, Sandy Strong. Good to see you. As I mentioned before, I don't do this so often because it kind of puts the onus or the pressure on the audience to ask a question. But this is a question and answer session, and I want to thank everybody who has asked a question thus far. And I want to encourage you to ask a question. Alex, hurrah! Hurrah, hurrah! Good to see you, Alex. My gosh, I haven't seen you since Yosemite. Yes, indeed. And that alarm clock that just kept going on and on and on. Good to see you, Alex. Gabriel, hello. And you are most welcome, Andrea Beach Johnston. Good. Thank you for asking the questions. All right. If you don't have any other questions, then I'm going to go ahead and maybe I'll just go with another subject right now. It's really important that you pay attention to what the Kundalini compels you to do. Like when I was talking to Andani about getting another job because she's starting to have him look for other jobs. You really want to pay attention to this. And Donnie has a quick question right now, but I'm going to continue with his first question. And she is not giving this to you accidentally. You do not know what is coming. Kundalini does know what's coming. Okay? And you need to really trust that. You expand that level of trust. It's just like in the DNS, the Dark Night Soul. You've got to expand your level of trust to realize that everything that is being taken away is being taken away for a reason, and a good reason, so that it can be replaced with something that is even better. Okay? And that divine energy is much better than the energies that you become accustomed to. And I suppose Andani's just riding away. So I'm tap dancing, Andani, right now. I'm tap dancing. Mr. C is pecking at my foot, and because I'm tap dancing, I'm moving it around. He likes to peck on my foot. So here's to you all. Okay, Andani's got it here. He said, "Boy, that took a long time to write that one, Andani. I'm going to ask you to speed that up." Chakras should not be opened by one's own will, right? That's correct, unless it is in the direct instruction of the Kundalini. So, for instance, chakra breathing. If you're getting a blockage in a certain chakra, you can chakra breathe it. You can yes, Mr. Yes, what was that? Where are you? Well, obviously, Mr. C has something to say about that. Uh, for the most part, chakras operate without the egotistic intention of an individual. If you're inside of a Shaktipat situation where chakra breathing is helpful, then you definitely can do that. Uh, but you have to do it within the auspices. In other words, my Kundalini, I give you control over my chakra system, but I would like to open the fourth chakra wider. So I'm going to breathe prana into the fourth chakra, or the third, or the second, or the first, or the fifth, or the sixth. Typically not the seventh. Okay, typically not the seventh. So one can work with the chakras indeed. Even doing this is opening the hand chakras. Boom. And that was done by the ego, right? The Chrism's ego decided, oh, I'm going to show people how to open the hand chakras. Boom, there it is. Boom, there's that energy between the two. So yeah, you can work it. And it's the same with the fingertip chakras. Here, you can do this. Okay, rubbing the nails together like that for about 3 minutes. I won't do it for 3 minutes here. But you can open these chakras too. And it's actually very good for the nails and the hair and the skin to do this particular practice. Boom, and you feel this incredible level of buzz in the fingertips, and it's opening those chakras. So what people are doing, they're directing so much energy and so many entities into their chakras because they want to become enlightened, that they're really kind of messing up their energetic anatomy. And so for the most part, let the Kundalini be with your energetic anatomy and let her make any of the adjustments that she wants to make, she feels that you need to make. And except for little things that I just showed you right there, yeah, you don't want to necessarily try to figure out your energetic anatomy because you're just coming at it from an egotistical, societally programmed place or religiously programmed place, or it's like you're getting into the new age lingo. Well, my 5D resonance with the 4D reality of that dimension mixed in with the 3D reality of this dimension has produced a harmonic 11D. Please. Don't do that. Anyway, I just want to say, whatever you do, let it be the Kundalini that does it through you, rather than your egotism. Okay? And I want to thank you all for watching.